All right, Pisces, welcome back to the channel. It's time for your weekly reading. If this is your first time finding me, I am so glad. Welcome. And if you're returning again, I super appreciate that. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like the videos, you like the way I read. Like the video, and I welcome anybody who wants to become part of the community. So, you guys, we're just going to get a general message from Spirit. I got a bunch of oracle cards, so I think I'll just go ahead and get them shuffled up. We'll get it pulled out. We'll see what the energy is that we have to work with for the week. I can tell you astrologically, we still have quite a few planets in Pisces. The way that I interpret that is that we're really supposed to just be focusing on being, not so much on doing. I feel like this is a lot of heavy energy right now with the eclipses that are going on. We're at the very beginning of retrograding planets, right? So that'll be going on probably for most of the rest of the year. Planets will retrograde, come out of retrograde, go into retrograde. Okay, so basically that just means take it easy, Pisces. Mars is in Pisces in particular, so there's not going to be a lot of activity for the next couple of weeks. So I would say there's going to be a lot of just slow movement, focusing on things that really need to be like released and purged out of your life. And when I say things, I really mean just focusing a lot on like healing aspects of yourself. So like any kind of like thing that could be attached to guilt, shame, grief, suffering, old stories, old things we've been clinging on to for a really long time, right? If something has ended, or it's like you're just holding on to it because it's very scary, especially if it's a situation, a living situation, a job, a relationship of any kind, right? Those are the kind of things that this is really the time with the energy. It's going to be impossible. I mean, you can hold on, but honestly, it's not going to help. It's not going to help you out, and it's going to cause you more pain. And so I think, you know, there's a lot of death. There's a lot of rebirth, right? There's that kind of energy going on. So we'll see. We'll see what this week brings. I mean, we had that partial solar eclipse the other day. We're headed for a lunar eclipse that's going to be even bigger. So I feel like things are being highlighted and enlightened, right? Like they're being brought out of the shadows and into the light, to use a cliche saying. But not a lot of doing, not a lot of action. You know, Pisces, we're not really known collectively as, I mean, it depends on all of your chart placements, right? You know, if you have a lot of fire in your chart, or a lot of stressful aspects in your birth chart, you might be Mars driven, action oriented. But you know, in general, Pisces are not wired necessarily that way. But especially now, like, the energy's pretty heavy. It requires a lot of rest and a lot of water. A lot of water. We're parched, Pisces. We need more water. Okay, let's just get one here from the Wisdom of the Oracle. We will get this reading started. Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at these 4 cards and I'm going, yep. So right off the bat, right, we get that protection. It's the number 30 Echinacea card. This is the magical herb oracle. I love this oracle. It talks about protection, I may read a little bit out of the book about it, but you know, Pisces, here's the thing. We are divinely guided and we are divinely protected. And this is kind of what I was just yammering on about, right? The me talks, repairing the body, mind, spirit. This is a time for being. It's a time to head towards healing, towards letting go. And I love that we got that with the breathe card, right? It's about self-care. It's about taking time out to do the practices, do the meditations, right? Spend time in water. I'm telling you, I'm strongly getting the water, okay? Drinking water, if you have the ability to take a bath because you have a bathtub, right? Like some of us just have showers. I mean, I get it, but whatever you can do to be around water, if you have the opportunity and you're out driving someplace and you see a body of water and you have the ability to stop and spend a few minutes meditating, just following the breath and sitting for even a few minutes by a body of water. Okay. So, I mean, that's really the energy that we're in. And it's perfectly, came out in this reading. And then from the fairies, we got inner child. The fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. So, you are being protected, right? So, it's like about letting go of fear and really tapping into your inner joy. Becoming lighter, right? Releasing fear, releasing heavy emotions, right? Cleansing through the breath, cleansing through water. I want to actually get into the book and read about this echinacea card because it's not a lot, but I love this deck so much, but you really do have to read, and each card just has like a page. It just says, there is a need to take a more active role in strengthening your defenses, and moderation may be called for as energies seem to be out of balance. Okay, so this is about balancing energy. Got it. Do not bottle up feelings or thoughts, as now is the time to voice concerns calmly and with care to ensure future similar issues do not arise in the same way. Patience may also be needed as a little self-reflection to work out what it is you really want to stay true to, your purpose and inner truth. So it's really just getting in sync and in touch with our own energy. Like I said, with all these planets in Pisces, it's not about doing, it's about being. As we get into Aries, like Venus did just go into Aries this past week, but Jupiter is about to go there too. And as they approach Chiron, who is the wounded healer in Aries, and then, as Mars ends its time in Pisces and goes into Aries as well. So over the next month, yes, we will make a transition to actually taking action. But this current week that we're in, no, it's not. There's not really anywhere to go. If you're going to go anywhere, it's going to be to go gather with friends, go to the lake, get out in nature, do something fun, do something joyful, very lighthearted energy. Anything to balance, to detoxify, to beautify. Okay, now would be a really good time to go get a new outfit, right? Go get your hair did, go get some new makeup or something, right? Like just do something to take care of you, and to keep it as light as possible. So nice energy. I want to go ahead and we're going to get a tarot message. I'm going to use the Fountain Tarot for the main message, and then I'm going to clarify it with Sun and Moon because I'm really liking that deck right now. It's really speaking to me. So we're going to go ahead and spirits, guides, and angels. What is the message for Pisces this week? What would you like the Pisces collective to focus on? And what will be for their highest good and the highest good of everyone? King of Coins. So that's nice, right? Definitely stepping into authority in your world, right? Like taking care of all of your like physical responsibilities, getting on a trajectory for security and stability. It always begins with taking care of ourselves, doesn't it? Let's see what else. We've got the Knight of Swords. So maybe learning about some kind of a truth. You may be getting a message. Maybe this has to do with this protection card where you and somebody in your environment get into a situation where there is an exchange of words, a message, or maybe even a potential altercation. This is where protection is saying, just be careful. Be careful with how you're using your words. Be wise, okay? A king of coins would be slow to anger, okay? A king would use his words very responsibly, okay? So there's definitely a message there for somebody. Don't go off the rails. It's all about this lightness. There's this lightness of energy that I feel like is really, really coming out in the energy right now. I feel like that's the focus for the week. Staying light, staying airy, okay? 10 of Cups. Okay, so this can definitely be like around family issues. There is potential for things to go well, okay, for there to be happiness, for there to be fulfillment. But again, there may be like in between here and sandwich in between here, there is this Knight of Swords. So again, we'll see when we clarify, but I feel like there may be this opportunity to need to be the bigger person when it comes to some kind of a relationship. I also am getting the repairing energy here, so there may be an opportunity to repair something within a relationship. Again, I'm getting heavy family here, but it can also be in partnership of any kind. Friendship too, so take it as it resonates. But there's something about being this King of Coins, like Pisces. I feel like this is Pisces this week, is this King of Coins, right? So just really being mature, being the bigger person, being the one who people look to kind of steer the ship, or be the authority, or be the guide, or right, be the captain. Stepping into that leadership role a little bit. 4 of Coins. I'm immediately feeling about like holding on to grudges. There would be a need to release those, but also releasing anything that's toxic. Holding on to pettiness in particular is coming to mind. So releasing pettiness, releasing like coldness. Okay, yeah. So we've got the 9 of Cups and the Tower. So I feel like there's something that may be potentially chaotic in the environment with this Knight of Swords. But I do feel like that, and I mean, I guess we could put the cards this way. I don't think it really is going to make a difference at the end of the day. I feel like somebody's feelings are getting hurt, or somebody's feelings have been hurt or there's a need to release hurt feelings, something like that. So let's look at the bottom. We'll get clarification. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the King of Wands. So again, another king, and the Ten of Coins. So I feel like Pisces, the message really this week for you is going to be about, even in the midst of like somebody may be lashing out at you, or you have the opportunity to be a mediator in a situation. It may be like something where you suddenly find yourself like thrust into this position of needing to be that voice of reason, that bigger person in a situation in order to come out on top, in order to have a really solid outcome, in order to have everyone's needs met and fulfilled. It's almost like a Libra energy, and like usually at Pisces I don't feel like that is our role necessarily, but I feel like you may actually be in that role this week for some reason. So that's interesting. So we'll go ahead and get some clarification on the message and see if we can come to some kind of a story here. Spirits, guides, and angels, can you help us clarify the message for Pisces? What is this King of Coins? What do we need to know about the King of Coins? Yeah, the Ace of Swords. So he's definitely able to discern the truth, okay? There is some kind of revelation coming in. There's some kind of a communication for sure, next to the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So it is, the 10 does become the ace. There was some kind of an incident here. Like, this is that whole, like, backstabbing, betrayal, the end of an argument would be, I don't know how else to read this. Is there anything else about this King of Coins? But the King of Coins wants to flip the script. He wants to right the wrong. Yeah, there it is. There's the Five of Wands. So there's the argument. There's the fight. There's bickering, right? But it's not, so it's fast, okay? But here's the thing, like, it's coming to an end, okay? Like, it is. And the King of Coins is like, look, okay, this is like Big Daddy energy. Like, everybody, we're going to come to a resolution here, okay? So let's talk about the Knight of Swords. Yeah, we got the Three of Swords. So there is definitely some words or something that have been spoken that were very heartbreaking or very upsetting. And I feel like there's something that's being overcome with it. The Princess of Wands. So there's like a new beginning. There's a new need to move past it. It's like Pisces, there's something, like, that doesn't have to be the story, right? It doesn't have to be in the current situation, but it could be the case that we are finally moving into a space of forgiveness. We're finally moving into a space of moving past whatever. It's like getting victory over the past. It's like moving on to something more stable, moving on to something else, right? Like, I do see a little bit of forgiveness here, or the need to let go of old, like, it's like, and Pisces, again, is not a sign I typically think of as, like, holding grudges, but there's that kind of a thing. We've got the Moon. Let me move this deck here. We've got the Moon. And so I do feel like there's just this energy of, like, it's coming up from the shadows into the light, right? It's like, it's not going to be suppressed anymore. It's not going to be submerged. It's not going to be hidden. It's going to come out. It's going to come out so that it can be purged, so that it can be released, so that we can have this move towards this 10, this resolution, this healing that wants to happen, honestly. So yeah, there's the 10 of Pentacles, right? So, and I think we had that under, yeah, we had the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom. It's this need. So when you have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles together, right, it's you want a happy home, you want a happy family. There's this need for healing. We got the 4 of Pentacles, and we got the 4 of Pentacles here. So it's like holding on to, and in the keyword in here, I love this deck because they have keywords at the top. It says power. It's like, but these are sand castles, for crying out loud. Okay, like how much power do you really have with sand castles? They're not a stable foundation. And, you know, a 10 of Cups and a 10 of Pentacles, right? Like those are long-term stable conditions. Those are happiness. Those are success. Those are harmony and all of the rainbows, right? Like that's all of the good stuff. And so when you have this, like this power card that comes in over the top, and it's like, do you really want to assert your power over the situation by like holding on to the old, like unstable, like environment, the old unstable energy, or do you want to actually let it go? So let's talk about the 4 of Coins, right? Like, wouldn't it make you feel better just to get it out? There's the Hanged Man. It is needing to look at the situation. And maybe it's more complicated, you know, maybe it's a real dynamic, you know, because there's a difference. Like if this is a dynamic that we're talking about here, where you've been in like an ongoing saga for some time now with another person or with a group of people, like I said, it could be partner, it could be family, it could be work, what have you. But there is a need to look at it differently. There is a need to pause and to consider how holding on to the old energy is affecting your ability to move forward. It affects us in so many ways, Pisces, right? Because it impacts us, like our own self-worth. Because then what happens is when we hold on to this dynamic, okay, first of all, it does nothing to like prove a point, or you know how it is, like it doesn't do anything to the other person. What it does to us is it ends up like throwing our balance off, right? It ends up like when we don't like speak our truth, right? When we don't speak our truth and allow things to remain in the shadows, right? When we don't like step proactively into healing a situation, you know, it's not doing anything to the other person. It's impacting us, and it's making us doubt ourselves, feel bad about ourselves, guilt and all that kind of nonsense comes up, right? And it can ultimately have an impact on all of anything associated with self-worth, okay? And it's funny, before I even pushed record on this video, I was sitting and thinking about how Pisces is all about focused on self-worth right now. There's a lot of issues regarding that. And you wouldn't necessarily tie 2 and 2 together. You might say, well, I'm just trying to be over here and mind my own business. And that's fine. Pisces usually does that, right? But I feel like you're being asked this week to actually face something in a new and different way, in a way that is a little more uncomfortable for you, to stand up and be like, look let's just all let's just all repair. Let's look at the elephant in the room here, okay? Because what it does long term is it affects your ability in other areas of life that you may not have like necessarily tied to the situation. You may not necessarily like see how keeping the situation like hidden in the shadows and not bringing it up to be healed and to be discussed and talked through is actually impacting your life in other ways. It can actually directly impact your ability to like earn income, to become successful in other relationships, in other facets of your life. So there's spillover. That's where I'm feeling that water energy, Pisces. There's spillover into other areas of your life. And so there's something that wants to be shaken up this week in order that you're going to be able to come into like a more playful energy, a happier state of being. It's looking at the situation from a different perspective and understanding that the truth is that you hanging on to it is really just like these sand castles. It's like holding on to something that's going to lead you nowhere. All right, so let's talk about the Nine of Cups. Oh my gosh, we got another tower. So we did get another tower, and so that is a double confirmation. And we got the Lovers, okay? So, and the King of Cups, right? And it's like, so here's the thing. In order to attract that love and in order for you to, you know, again, come into this higher version, it's like you have to repair that love inside of you. There's something very emotional that I feel like is being shaken up in your life this week, an opportunity to repair something in a heart-centered way with this Lovers and this King of Cups. It's choosing again to step into this authoritative, like mature position where instead of allowing your emotions to run rampant, it's like you stepping up into the leadership role and you choosing to be the bigger person and you choosing to heal the fracture or the split in the relationship within yourself, like, so that this may be reflected with a lover, partner, like another person in your external environment, but it's also being reflected back to you internally, right? And this is about you coming to a healing inside of you. This is about you like really facing what has needed to be faced, that old sorrow, that old pain that's been in your heart for quite a while. It's about following your guidance, you know? It's like the universe coming down and saying, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and give you an opportunity to choose, right? To choose to put this in the past, an opportunity to choose a new dynamic, to choose a new course, you know? So let's talk about, can you tell us, Spirit, like what this tower like is trying to say here? Like what about the tower do we need to know? And we got the Seven of Cups and we got the Wheel of Fortune. Let's get one more. So it is divine timing. It is like necessary. It's time. It's time to heal the old wounds. It's time to overcome the emotional obstacles, to stop getting so stuck. You know, Pisces, because we do. To choose a new path, a path of peace. Okay, you've got the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Swords on the bottom. it's time to overcome this place of, again, it's very watery. These emotions, these old emotions that keep us, swimming in the sea of confusion. It's debauchery. It's having it's like giving yourself permission to stay elusive or hidden, or it's like picking a path to peace, okay, instead of staying in this wishy-washy place of like not deciding, like, oh, I want to move forward with my own healing. I want to move forward with like making amends. But, I haven't, or I've been trying to procrastinate maybe, or something like that. This week is going to be a week where I feel like you're going to be tested to pick the path. I feel like the test is the tower. It's going to become so uncomfortable for the Pisces that I'm talking to. It's going to be so uncomfortable that you're going to have to begin to acknowledge, and it may not even be a painful tower. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, it may not even be a painful tower. This tower might just be like the universe sends you a situation where, I don't know, you get to go. I'm just thinking of this fairies. Maybe you're invited to go do something, and you think, yeah, all right, I'll go. And you go, and then you end up meeting some people there. You're with people there, maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's your partner, whoever. And it ends up being like a really good time. And it's like the universe threw this wheel of fortune. It's fortunate. It threw this shakeup. And it was like, you wouldn't have done it. It's like, in other words, it's like a situation that comes along and you wouldn't have chosen it on your own, but like the universe almost forced your hand. And because it did, and because you went, because you chose to do it, it was like you ended up having a good time, right? And you ended up like transmuting the situation somehow. I don't know how else to say it. It's like it ends up bringing you, it's like being open to doing something fun and doing something playful and letting your guard down leads you to this Wheel of Fortune tower moment. That's all I can say. It's weird. It's like you're being healed, but like not because I'm going back to sorry, I'm stammering. Not by doing anything, but just by being you. It's like just by being, just by like going along, just by like not resisting, just by not fighting, you're able to somehow come into this healing or into this alignment or into this, like, just by you being the bigger person, just by you stepping into the authority and like following, like when spirit says move and you obeyed and you moved, right? Like it said, okay, we, like you went along with it, and then it ended up turning the wheel, and you ended up somehow like overcoming the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords became the Ten of Pentacles, you know? It's like you're being led, and just by the virtue of like who you are, your very being, it's like you bring joy to the situation, or like your energy just happens to be like the catalyst to like turn the wheel somehow. So I don't know who this reading might be for, but this is like what I'm getting off of these cards. So do we want to do a message from the universe? Hadn't really thought that far ahead. I don't know. Usually I do, but I didn't today. I guess I'm just going to leave it there. I mean, that feels pretty good to me. So yeah, I hope somebody resonated with the reading. If you like it, please hit the like button. If not, I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.